Hello! What I'm going to show you today, I treated myself. I got myself a kiwi, and this one is called a Kiwi Issai, I-S-S-A-I. I think that's how you pronounce it. Now this one climbs up and goes across, and I always wanted a kiwi, but they're not big kiwis, they're little kiwis. They're about the size of grapes. So I'm just going to show you how to plant this. Now when you plant one of these, they need a structure to climb up. So whether you put a bit of trellis behind it or whatever, it's entirely up to you. But what I've got here is fence panels with some trellis going across the top. So I'm going to put it so it sort of trains up and goes across like that, so I can pick them off easily. But the first thing I need to do is to dig a nice big hole to put it in. So let's get digging. Now you need to check that your hole is deep enough. It needs to be a bit wider than the pot itself. So once you think you've dug the hole deep enough, put the pot in, and as you can see that the level of the soil will come up to the level of the soil in the pot. You don't want it any deeper and you don't want it high up. You want the soil levels exactly the same. It doesn't matter if there's a bit of extra space around here, we can always fill that in. Now there's one thing we've got to do before we put it in. Let's take it out. They're very hungry plants, so what we need to do is to put some compost in the bottom or some manure. So I'll just go and get some of that to put that in there. Right, now this is just stuff from the bottom of the compost heap, so I'll just get a nice shovel full of this and just stick it in the hole. Alright, so just put that in, give it a bit of a mix round so it gets all mixed up with the soil that's already there. Okay, and now we're ready to put in our plant. Now when it came in this huge massive box because there was this big stick with it. We will put this back in, but just for the time being we just won't use it. Now you can see here that there's lots of little bits. And you see here, they're going to be growing. It's quite dormant at the moment because obviously it's the winter. But if you get it planted in now and get it settled, by the time spring comes, it will start to grow quite quickly. So, turn it upside down, give it a bash on the bottom, a bit of a shake, and hopefully it will come out. It seems to be quite stuck though. Hang on. Oh, good Lord. Oh, there we are. Okay, now can you see all these lovely roots here? We'll just gently tease them out, just a little bit. We won't do them too much because obviously we don't want to break them, but if we just move this soil, because it's been in that pot for quite a while, and if we move them out, the soil out, if we just loosen it, then they'll grow outwards, otherwise they'll just keep going round and round and round. So I'll pop it in the soil there, and then we'll just backfill it with the rest of the soil that I've taken out, making sure that you fill all the little bits in, pushing it down nice and firm. Some weeds there, we'll just shove those at the back there. There we are. Give it a good push. There we are. And we'll stick this stick back in, pop it somewhere near it. So I'll just push it down. And what I'll do is, as the plant grows, I'll attach it to the stick, and I'll attach the stick to the fencing up here so it will keep it secure. And then as it grows, I'll train it across. I'll most probably train it that way actually because there's space. But I'll just go and water it now, even though it's been quite cold and the soil is quite moist. Just to sort of take away any air bubbles that are in there, we'll water it so that all the compost and the soil will get back to where it's supposed to. So let me just go and get the watering can. So I'll just give it a water, give it a good thorough water all the way down. There we are. And once the water has gone, if there's any sort of dips in the soil, then any of the soil left, you can just sort of fill in those holes. I'll put the grass back because I've put this on the grass anyway. And that's that, and hopefully it will sort itself out. And next year we might actually have some little kiwis, which will be jolly good. But you know, when I do get the kiwis, I'll show you what they look like. But they're about the size of a grape, and they're fuzzless, so you don't have to peel them. You can just pick them off and eat them. So I'm looking forward to having those. But this one's a self-pollinating one, so you don't need you don't need a male and a female to pollinate each other. This one does it all itself, which makes life so much easier. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.